The real moment that it was brought home to me, the Thursday before we played France in 1985, we came back and I was rooming with Willie Anderson. Jimmy McCoy was in the bedroom next door, sharing a room with Phil Orr, and he came in really upset with Trevor England. Word had just come through that the RUC station in Newry had been bombed by the IRA.
The rocket attack killed 9 officers, and I knew quite a few of them. We just come back for a meal at the cinema or something like that, and just come through the news and just stuck in mind all day, you know. Yeah, the fact that people in the squad as well, because it brought home that these things can happen out there. They're just very supportive, and it is very helpful, I have to say.
I remember taking Jimmy into a corner that night and just saying, look, Jimmy, explain to me. You're obviously really upset. I said, what happens when you go home? Well, he said, I'll have to go to their funerals next Monday, Tuesday. He said, they're colleagues of mine. He said, I stood in Lansdowne Road today for our Naveen, stood in front of the tricolour. He said, my colleagues in the RUC will be buried with the Union Jack in their coffins. If the IRA fellows who committed the atrocity were killed in that action, they'd have the tricolour on their coffin. So that's what I face when I go home on Monday and Tuesday.
And incidents like that, did that encourage you to speak to one another a little bit more, to understand the perception on either side a little more?
That was a turning point for me personally, and that was probably the first time that I sat down and really tried to understand